Cindy Baucom, Knee Deep in Bluegrass, presented by Low Vintage Instrument Company, here with Jim Lauderdale prior to the IBMA Awards show. But Jim, it's always great to get to chat with you a few minutes.
Same here, Cindy. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate all that you have brought to music, whether it be bluegrass, Americana, country. You know, I've told so many people over the years when I was first getting acquainted with the name Jim Lauderdale and your work, it was as one of the most sought after songwriters in Nashville. And then as I started seeing you do some bluegrass things and first had an opportunity to chat, and you talked about growing up around the Union Grove Fiddlers Convention, I'm like, well, wow, you were just down the road from me in North Carolina. So it's quite a pleasure to know you were another fellow North Carolinian.
That's right. And you know, the Union Grove. And I'm glad to hear the news about Camp Springs. That was a festival in my junior and senior years of high school, and before that and after, was so important to me to get to go to that festival. And now I think they're going to reactivate it, before too long.
Oh, yes. That is exciting news.
It is. And North Carolina is just, for bluegrass and for our, the heritage of it, and just it being around for us to hear and grow up with, it's just a real wonderful thing.
For sure. And you have more exciting news. I want to talk a bit about this recording. Now, when you first had these big dreams of recording your first project and you go to Nashville and you meet up with some key folks, take us through that story and lead us up to that recording I'm referring to.
Okay. Well, when I started playing the banjo when I was about 15, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a banjo player and a recording artist with, as a singer, banjo player. And after a while of really struggling with the banjo, and I got to a pretty good level, but I just wasn't great. And I was okay, but I couldn't, and of course I couldn't get any kind of a deal like that. But I really, as I got more and more immersed in bluegrass, Roland White became one of my favorite figures. Of course, Ralph was, and many other people, Don Stover, the Seldom Seen, Flatt and Scruggs, Bill, so many great artists, Jimmy Martin. But I really, when they came out with those Kentucky Colonels live records and things like this, and when Clarence and Roland got together and they had some recordings from Europe, it really affected me. And so I was gonna move to Nashville, and I wanted to hang out with George Jones and Roland White. And I saw George at the Opry. My roommates played with Wilma Lee Cooper, so I'd go to the Opry every weekend, and I saw him there one night and just kind of introduced myself. But Roland, when I saw him at the Station Inn, and I was nervous and everything, but he was so nice, and I started going over to his house and singing with him. So after a while, he said, and I was about to leave Nashville because I couldn't get anything going, but he said, well, why don't we do a record together? So I was just overjoyed. So we did a record. Johnny Warren is playing fiddle on it, and Gene Wooten's playing dobro, Terry Smith's playing bass, Stan Brown's playing banjo, and Marty Stewart played lead guitar and a bunch of stuff. So we did that record, and I left Nashville and I sent it around to the labels. I went, listen, we like the record, but you're an unknown. Stay in touch, So I got so discouraged, I put it aside. And I started doing country stuff and eventually got a record deal. And then Roland and I, years later, when I wanted to put it out and to try it, that somebody put it out now, we realized neither one of us had the master copies, and it was lost. But several months ago, Roland was sitting in with me at the Station Inn, and as he was leaving the stage, he said, oh, by the way, my wife found a tape with our name on it. So that it turned out to be the tape, and so I sent it to Yep Rock Records, who I was thinking about. Hey, it's okay if it's a little dark, it's just here we go. See, it's when you just breathe, everything, the lights come back on.
Wow.
Even brighter than before.
Pick back up on that thought.
But
The thought about.
so I realized that, well, Roland said, hey, my wife found the copy. So Yep Rock Records, who I'd done some records with before, I sent them a copy. They loved the idea, and I put it out on the same day as a country record I did recently. So my first record became my 30th, and so I'm just so happy about it.
And Steve Scruggs doing the engineering.
Yes. Steve Scruggs is doing the engineering.
So many great talents that are no longer with us, so I know that has to mean so much to you. And the name of the recording is?
It's called Jim Lauderdale and Roland White.
Just as we would imagine. Well, Jim Lauderdale, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to get to chat with you.
Likewise, and I'm so excited about this cut that I've got on Cindy Baucom's new record. I'm just really excited.
It's called Honey, Hurry Home. Jim Lauderdale with me. I'm Cindy Baucom, Knee Deep in Bluegrass, presented by Low Vintage Instrument Company.